Why do some people wake up ready to win while others reach for the snooze button without even opening their eyes? Every morning is a choice, a moment where the direction of your entire day is determined before your feet even touch the ground. You think waking up early is about time. No, it's about identity. It's about declaring who you are before the world tries to tell you who to be. Right now, you might believe that waking up early is simply a habit some people have mastered. But here's the truth: the person you become is shaped in the quiet hours when nobody else is looking. Imagine this: the alarm rings and there's a battle happening inside you. One voice says, stay comfortable, stay warm, you deserve a little more rest. The other says, get up, move, win. Which voice you choose determines not just your morning, but your life. Because comfort is easy, comfort is seductive, comfort is the enemy of progress. Waking up early isn't proof that you're strong, it's what makes you strong. Most people believe their day starts when they walk into work or school. No, your day begins the moment you open your eyes. And here's the hook: if the very first decision you make each day is to delay, you teach your brain that delay is acceptable. You teach yourself that your goals can wait. You program your mind to put dreams on hold. But what happens when you do the opposite? When the alarm rings and you stand up immediately, even when you don't feel like it, you send a signal to your brain that you are in charge. That discipline leads desire. That action creates motivation, not the other way around. The world rewards those who show up before they're asked. Opportunities appear for people already moving. You think successful people wake up early because they're motivated. No, they're motivated because they wake up early. The energy, the clarity, the momentum. These are things you earn by starting before the rest. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if every morning started with a win? If every sunrise was a chance to get ahead rather than catching up? The early hours are a gift, quiet, focused, uninterrupted. The question is, will you take the gift or will you sleep through it? Tomorrow morning, the alarm will ring again and the battle will return. But now you know this: the fight isn't against tiredness. It's against the person you no longer want to be. Choose future now. What if every time you hit the snooze button, you were actually choosing a smaller life? Most people don't see it that way. They think it's harmless. Just 5 more minutes. But 5 more minutes becomes 10, then 15, and suddenly you're waking up not because you want to, but because the world forced you to. That tiny decision, that one moment of delay, is a message to yourself: I'm not ready for my own life. And you deserve better than that. Let me ask you something. When did we start believing that mornings are punishment? When did we start treating a new day like something to avoid? We complain about not having enough time, yet we surrender the earliest, purest hours to comfort. You say you want change, you want success, you want to become the strongest version of yourself, yet the first decision of your day contradicts all of that. You cannot build a bold life on a foundation of procrastination. Deep down, you know this. That's why it hurts. That's why you feel guilt after oversleeping. That's your future self calling out, asking why you're not showing up. You have dreams. You have goals. You have an inner greatness that is begging for a chance to breathe. But greatness cannot grow in the dark under the blankets. It needs light. It needs action. It needs you standing up when the world is still silent. Think about the people you admire, the ones who are living lives you wish you could live. Do you really believe they wake up early because mornings are easy for them? No. They wake up early because they decided their purpose is more important than their comfort. They wake up because they know who they want to become. And every morning, the alarm gives them a chance to prove it. This isn't about sleep. It's about self-respect. It's about showing up before you're ready. It's about rewiring your identity from someone who waits to someone who leads. Early mornings are not just hours, they are declarations. They say, I will not let life push me around. I will create my life. You deserve mornings that feel like victory, not regret. You deserve to wake up knowing you are already one step ahead. And that power begins with a single choice. When the alarm rings, you rise, even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to, because the person you want to be is already awake, waiting for you to join them. There is a version of you out there living the life you keep imagining, a version who is stronger, more focused, more disciplined, and more alive. But that version does not wake up when the day is already underway. That version begins before the noise, before the distractions, before anyone else demands a single second of attention. The question is, are you willing to meet that version of yourself? Most people wait. They wait for motivation. They wait for clarity. They wait for the right time. But waiting is the quiet cousin of fear. You think you're delaying because you're tired. But the truth is, you're delaying because stepping into you could become is terrifying. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is unfamiliar. And the bed, that soft, warm, safe bed, reminds you of everything that's predictable. It encourages you to stay the same. But what if you decided that comfort is no longer your friend? What if you chose to break the pattern that has held you in place for so long? Those first 10 seconds after the alarm rings, that is the moment where your life shifts. Not later, not after coffee, right there. When you choose action over thought, discipline over delay, future over comfort. Close your eyes for a moment, not to sleep, but to see. Imagine waking up before the sun, stepping into the quiet, feeling the cool air of possibility on your skin. No interruptions, no expectation, just you and the road ahead. In those early hours, your thoughts are louder. Your potential is awake. Early risers don't have more time. They use more time. They don't chase the day, they lead the day. They don't hope for momentum. They create momentum. They start with a win so that everything that follows has to rise to the level they already set. The truth is this: every morning is a test. Not a test of strength, but of intention. Not of how much sleep you got, but of how badly you want the life you say you want. You either pass by rising or fail by delaying, and only you know which choice you made. The life you want has a price, and that price is discipline. It's choosing to rise when every part of you wants to fall back. It's choosing movement when your mind is begging for stillness. It's choosing to show yourself that you are capable of more. You don't become unstoppable by sleeping through your potential. You become unstoppable by waking up for it. Every morning gives you a chance to rewrite your story. Not someday, not next week. Every single sunrise is a blank page. And the very first sentence you write is the moment you choose to get up. You are either writing a story of progress or a story of delay, a story of growth or a story of excuses, a story of waking up or sleeping through your potential. Which one did you write today? You see, discipline isn't built in the big moments. It's built in those tiny choices you think don't matter. When the alarm rings and nobody is watching. When there's no applause, no pressure, no recognition, just you versus you. That is where character is forged. That is where greatness first takes a breath. People love the idea of success, but they avoid the price of it. They love dreaming about a future filled with achievement, but they refuse to sacrifice the comfort of the present. They ask, how do I become stronger? Then they choose the path of ease. They ask, how do I get ahead? Then they wake up when everyone else does. You cannot rise above the crowd while living exactly like the crowd. There is a reason early mornings feel uncomfortable. It's because they're designed for transformation. Growth requires resistance. You don't get stronger by lifting feathers. You get stronger by lifting weight. That moment when your body says, no, that's when your spirit has to step in and say yes. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The world does not care how tired you are. Opportunities don't wait for you to feel ready. Your dreams will not pause while you sleep. Life will keep moving, with or without you. So who do you want to be when the world wakes up? Someone scrambling to catch up, or someone already in motion? Waking up early isn't about punishing yourself. It's about preparing yourself. It's the decision to step into the day with power instead of panic, with intention instead of reaction, with clarity instead of chaos. There is confidence that comes from knowing you've already done what others haven't even started. Look in the mirror each morning and ask yourself, am I showing up for the life I said I wanted? Am I honoring the commitments I made to my future? Because your future self is watching. Your future self is waiting. And every morning, you have a chance to prove you are becoming the person capable of that future. The world rewards those who decide. And waking up early is a decision that declares, I am not here to survive this day. I am here to own it. Think about what steals your dreams. It's not failure, it's not rejection, it's not the challenges life throws at you. What truly destroys potential is the habit of choosing what feels good now over what feels great later. And every morning, that decision shows up disguised as the snooze button. It's such a small choice, yet it slowly convinces you that comfort matters more than goals. That ease matters more than excellence. That staying the same is safer than becoming more. But the moment you rise early, when everything inside you says don't, that is a moment of transformation. That is a moment where the future version of you wins a battle the old version would have lost. You're not just waking up, you are rewriting your identity. See, discipline is a conversation between who you are and who you want to be. It's your future self pulling you forward while your excuses try to pull you back. You get to choose which voice you listen to. That's why mornings are magical. Your mind is quiet enough for you to finally hear the truth. In those early minutes, before the world wakes up, there is no judgment, only possibility. When you wake up early, you give yourself time to become intentional, time to think, time to plan, time to invest in the things that matter most. The reason so many people feel rushed, stressed, and behind is because they wake up late and immediately start reacting to life. But early risers get ahead of life before life even begins. Let's get real. Success isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. And there is no smarter move than starting before the crowd. Leaders aren't defined by how loudly they speak, but by how early they move. You don't become extraordinary by doing what everyone else does. You become extraordinary by doing what they won't. And here's something you might not have realized: waking up early isn't only about productivity. It's about pride. It's about looking at yourself in the mirror and knowing that you showed up for you. That feeling, that quiet victory, builds confidence every single day. Confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you earn. Ask yourself what would change if you treated each morning like a promise to your dreams, a contract with your future, a declaration that you are no longer negotiating with procrastination. You are capable of so much more than you've been giving yourself. And the first proof of that power starts with your mornings. When the alarm rings tomorrow, rise. Not because it's easy, but because you refuse to live a life where comfort is the boss. There's a truth most people avoid facing. If you don't control your morning will control you. And when your morning controls you, the entire day owns you. You wake up late and suddenly you're rushed, you're stressed, you're behind, you're chasing instead of creating, reacting instead of leading. You spend the whole day trying to catch up, and you rarely do. That cycle doesn't steal just hours, it steals purpose. You deserve more than a life that begins in panic. Waking up early is not about becoming a morning person. It's about becoming a person who honors commitments to themselves. It's easy to show up for others, deadlines, expectations, responsibilities. But showing up for yourself, that's where true character is revealed. When nobody is asking you to rise early, but you do it anyway. That's integrity. That's ownership. That's confidence built from action. And here's the question you need to wrestle with. Are you living on offense or defense? When you wake up early, you're on offense. You set the tone. You decide what matters. You choose the narrative. You enter the day already winning. When you wake up late, you're on defense. You respond to other people's urgency. You adopt their priorities. Instead of living your purpose, you serve theirs. And at the end of the day, you wonder why you feel drained, unfulfilled, or invisible. Power belongs to those who act first. Those quiet early hours, they are pure advantage. No distractions, no pressure. Just time to move, to learn, to build, to become. Every minute before the world wakes is a minute of freedom. A minute where you get ahead. A minute that nobody can take from you. Think of champions, athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, leaders. Their success looks like glory from the outside, but behind it are countless unseen mornings where they chose discipline. The world sees the medal, the achievement, the spotlight, but it never sees the alarm ringing at 4:30 a.m. It never sees the internal war they chose to win. You have a champion within you too, but that champion needs you to stop negotiating with comfort. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop making excuses disguised as just a little longer. Greatness arrives when you stop delaying who you're meant to be. Tomorrow, when that alarm rings, remember this, you're not waking up for the person you are. You're waking up for the person you are becoming. The life you want is not found in extra sleep, it's found in extra effort. Every early morning is a vote for your future. Cast it with courage. If you're ready for section 7, just reply, continue. Every time you wake up early, you're telling the world, I'm showing up for my life before it even begins. That's a powerful statement. But even more powerful is what you're telling yourself. You're proving that you can trust you, that when you set an intention, you follow through, that when comfort calls, you don't answer. And that trust, that inner respect, becomes your foundation for everything great you will ever do. People think confidence comes from winning. No, confidence comes from consistency. Showing up again and again, especially when nobody sees it, especially when you don't feel like it. That's what builds a sense of unstoppable belief. Waking up early is not a single victory. It is the first of many victories you choose each day. Look around. Most of the world moves in autopilot. They wake up, they rush, they complain, they repeat. They treat mornings like a burden instead of a blessing. They let life happen to them instead of happening to life. But you are choosing something different. You are choosing consciousness. You are choosing intention. You are choosing to live awake, not asleep. Those who wake up early are not just awake physically. They are awake mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They understand that every morning is a message that says, there is more for me. There is work to be done. There are dreams that demand action. The sun rises whether you do or not, but your potential doesn't. Let's get honest. There will be days when you don't want to get up. Days when your body aches, when your mind whispers excuses, when the bed begs you to stay. Those are the days that matter most, because anyone can get up when they feel inspired. But true greatness is born when you get up while uninspired. When you rise without motivation, that's when discipline becomes identity. You might think this is just about mornings. It's not. It's about becoming someone who takes control. Someone who acts with intention. Someone who refuses to live on default. When you master your morning, you master your momentum. When you master your momentum, you change your life. No one remembers the mornings you slept in. But the mornings where you rise early, push forward, and choose the harder path, those mornings build the life you will be remembered for. They become your advantage, your edge, your quiet superpower. The alarm tomorrow isn't just a sound, it is an invitation. An invitation to be stronger, to be better, to be the person your dreams require. Answer it. There is a moment in every morning that decides everything. It's not the alarm. It's not your first step out of bed. It's the moment your mind offers you the easy way out and you refuse it. That is the moment of power. That is the moment of rebirth, not once, not twice, but every single day. Because becoming the person you admire isn't a one-time transformation. It is a daily decision. You may think you are fighting tiredness, but really you are fighting old habits. You are fighting the version of yourself that settled for less. The version that believed greatness was for other people. The version that chose rest over results. That version doesn't disappear overnight. You defeat it one morning at a time. Here is what most people don't understand. Discipline is not loud. It does not shout. It does not demand recognition. Discipline whispers. It whispers at 5 a.m. Get up. It whispers when it's dark and silent. Move. It whispers when comfort feels overwhelming. Do what you said you would do. And the more often you listen, the stronger its voice becomes. Waking up early is an act of self-leadership. It's choosing who you will be before the world chooses it for you. Everything you say you want, confidence, success, momentum, respect, begins with leadership over yourself. You cannot lead teams, families, businesses, or movements if you cannot lead your own morning. Think about the pride of knowing you have already accomplished something before most people are even awake. That sensation of walking into day with momentum instead of pressure. It changes the way you carry yourself. It changes the way you think. It changes the way life responds to you. Because energy created early keeps echoing. One strong morning can turn into a strong week, then a strong month, then a strong life. But here's the hard truth: nobody is coming to push you out of bed. Nobody is coming to turn you into your best self. Nobody is coming to drag you toward your purpose. It has to be you. It has always been you. You are the hero of the story, and heroes rise. So tonight, set the alarm. But more importantly, make a promise. A promise that when tomorrow arrives, you will rise with it. That you will no longer delay the life that is waiting for you. That you will wake up not because you have to, but because you're done sleeping on who you could become. The morning is calling, and this time you answer with action. There is something sacred about the first light of day. It does not wait for permission. It does not negotiate. It simply rises. And so must you. Every moment you linger in bed, every time you delay, is a moment where life is passing you by. Opportunities, clarity, momentum. All of it moves forward whether you rise or not. And the question you must face is this: will you move with it or let it leave you behind? Think about your dreams for a moment. The ones that make your heart beat faster, the ones that scare you just a little. They are not waiting for comfort. They are not waiting for excuses. They are waiting for action. And the first action, the very first, is always this: get up, stand, move. Claim your morning before the world demands it of you. Because mornings aren't just time on a clock, they are declarations of identity. They declare who you are before the world can define you. You may feel small when the alarm rings. You may feel weak. You may even feel insignificant. But what you feel in those first moments is irrelevant. What matters is what you do. The person who gets up despite doubt, despite fatigue, despite fear, that is the person who grows unstoppable. That is the person who earns their life. That is the person who inspires everyone else, not by words, but by example. Remember this: discipline builds freedom. Action builds momentum. Courage builds confidence. And the foundation of all three is found in the quiet hours when no one else is awake. The early morning is a crucible. It burns away excuses. It purges weakness. It forges strength. Every sunrise is an opportunity to reshape who you are becoming, to set a standard for yourself, to rise above what you thought was possible. Your future self is already standing in that quiet light, waiting for you to catch up. And every time you hit snooze, every time you linger, you fall behind. You are not just losing minutes, you are losing power. You are losing the chance to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, braver than your fear, more committed than your comfort. So tomorrow when that alarm rings, rise. Rise not because it's easy, not because it feels good, not because someone told you to rise, because you know that each morning is a test and you refuse to fail. Rise because you are done letting life happen to you. Rise because your dreams, your purpose, your potential, they deserve it. Rise because greatness starts now, and there is no better time than the first light of day. Now, here is the moment that defines everything. The moment that separates those who dream from those who do. The moment that decides whether you will live by accident or by design. That moment is every morning. When the alarm rings, when the world is still asleep, when your comfort whispers for you to stay, this is the battlefield. This is where victory begins. And the choice is yours. You have spent your life waiting for signs, for permission, for the perfect conditions. But conditions are never perfect. Motivation is fleeting. Inspiration is temporary. What lasts is the action you take, the decision you make when nobody is watching, the strength you summon when you feel weak. That is how leaders are made. That is how lives are changed. That is how the extraordinary is born. Picture yourself a year from now. 1 year of early mornings, 1 year of choosing action over comfort, 1 year of showing up for yourself before anyone else. What does that version of you look like? How confident, how capable, how unstoppable are they? Now ask yourself, do you want to be that person? Or do you want to wake up and realize you let another year slip away, waiting for someone else to tell you it's time to rise? The truth is simple: the life you want doesn't arrive in your comfort zone. It doesn't come to those who hit snooze. It comes to those who stand, who push, who choose, who commit. The alarm isn't just a sound, it is a challenge, a call to action, a reminder that time is moving, that potential is waiting, and that greatness is not for the passive. It is for the people who rise. And rising isn't easy. It shouldn't be. Easy creates ordinary. Ordinary never leaves a mark. But the moment you rise early, when it's dark, when it's quiet, when no one is watching, that is the moment you become extraordinary. Every choice, every minute, every second matters. And one day you will look back and realize it all started with that one decision to wake up, to show up, to own your morning and your life. So tomorrow, when that alarm calls, answer it. Not because someone else told you to, not because it's convenient. Answer it because you refuse to settle. Answer it because you are done sleeping through your potential. Answer it because your future self is already standing in the quiet light, waiting for you to rise and join them. The sunrise will happen with or without you. But your life, your legacy, your greatness depends entirely on the person who chooses to rise. Rise now.